Welcome back, everyone. Anderson Emerald here to talk about the men's 110-meter hurdles. And as you can see right behind me, that is the finish line where we saw Cordell Tinch from the United States cross the line in first place to win the gold medal in 12.99 seconds, which capped off an immaculate season in the 110 hurdles. One of the most consistent seasons that we've seen from an athlete, and this was amazing. Cordell Tinch really put together a season that was going to be hard for many people to actually take down and for many people to actually surpass. And I'm saying a season as a whole, but just talking about the races that he put together at these championships. 12.99 seconds is the fourth time that he's broken the 13-second barrier this year, having run 12.87 early back in the Chinese Diamond Leagues. He then ran 12.98, he ran 12.92, and now he capped things off with another 12.99. Now, behind him, we saw Jamaicans. Jamaicans showed up. Jamaicans showed up. Jamaicans showed out. And I'm going to be honest, Jamaicans do not lie. Y'all did not predict this. Y'all did not predict this. Orlando Bennett, silver medal in 13.08, and Tyler Mason, 13.12 seconds at his first ever global championships. This was an immaculate performance across the board. Shout out to Enrique Lopez. You had Rachi Moritake. The Japanese crowd was crazy. When I tell you, the Japanese crowd went wild. After the semifinals, they went crazy because of Rachid making it into the final. And then in the final, as he's going through, they were going wild. Again, I'm super blessed to be here. Check out the interviews that we have. I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about these races, about this race. But check out the interviews we have on the Citius Mag YouTube channel. As always, spoke with Cordell for like 8-9 minutes. Who else? Spoke with both the Jamaicans, with Orlando as well as with Tyler. Have those up as well. So definitely tap in. Now, Cordell Tinch. As I've said, throughout the season, he's put together an amazing season. It does not match what Grant Holloway did last year. That was immaculate. But it does really, I don't know, it speaks to the consistency that he's been able to display and the things that he's been able to overcome, where in 2023, he actually he made the team to the World Championships for the first time. And this was coming out of Division 2, right? He had run sub 13 seconds. He then qualified for the team to the World Championships. He didn't make it out of or into the final, but that was kind of his big breakout. Now, in the interview that we did with Cordell Tinch, he actually spoke about how he probably would not have crossed this line first. He wouldn't be here at the World Championships. He wouldn't be getting a gold medal if he didn't take time off from the sport. He took 3 years off from the sport, and he was explaining how he had a friend who, was there for him and kind of supported him as he made his transition back and all these kind of things. He said that it was really important to focus on his mental health and to take a step away from track. He wasn't even following track in any capacity while he was away. Check out that interview. It's an amazing story from Cordell Tinch. And he said that he kind of broke down his race as well. He said that, of course, he gets he's not as strong at the start, and he's better on the second half of the race. But in this race here, he said that he was right next to Orlando Bennett, halfway through the race, and that gave him confidence, oh, I'm next to y'all midway through, and I know my second half is my strong suit. I got it. That's really big, and he was able to kind of pull through, get that gold medal. So shout out to Cordell Tinch. Really proud of the consistency that he was able to put together. Outside of the Kingston Grand Slam track meet at the top of the year, he has not finished lower than second place in any race. And the majority of his races, especially in the second half leading to World Champs, have been in first places. Man, Cordell Tinch. Y'all remember that Lausanne race where he ran 12.9 in the rain? Cordell Tinch had an amazing season. Shout out to Cordell Tinch. He definitely deserves it. I'm going to talk about Grant Holloway in a second, but Orlando Bennett. Now, Orlando Bennett, he ran 13.08 seconds to get the silver medal here. Remember, he made it to the to the Olympic final last year, along with, Rashid Brabell, who eventually did get the bronze medal there. But this was a massive performance. The thing is that outside of the Jamaican National Championships, he hadn't been having the greatest season, where, especially after that, he wasn't really consistent on the Diamond League circuit. I actually thought he would have done a little bit better, but he wasn't able to execute on the Diamond Leagues as, many people would have hoped for, considering, his experience getting to an Olympic final. But in this World Championship final, from the gun, he was out. He was out quick. And halfway through the race, likely knew that Orlando was getting a medal, you know, assuming he was able to maintain. But man, he really showed up here. 13.08 seconds. This is the definition of showing up when it counts the most, right? I spoke to him at the Jamaican National Championships after he had won, and he was confident about his ability and his trajectory moving forward. I spoke to him after here. Myself and Jamaican media. Shout out to all the guys. Y'all know who you are in Jamaican media. You know, we always hold things down, but he was confident. He put it together, and yeah, this was big. This was big. Also, Tyler Mason. Check out that interview as well. Again, you know, I'm working out here. All up on Citius Mag. He was able to run 13.12 seconds, equaling his personal best. This was his first World Championships ever. Representing Jamaica, he came to these World Championships and got the bronze medal. And I was kind of watching the race as it was unfolding here, and like midway through, Cordell Tinch, right? He was like pretty even with the pack, and then he started to pull away. Cool, he's getting a medal. Or like I said, Orlando Bennett, I saw him kind of halfway through, and I was like, okay, he's in a very good position. He looks to be getting a medal. Tyler Mason, like, yo, this guy has never been to a global championships individually, right? He's never been to a global championships to represent Jamaica in the 110 hurdles. His first one ever, and he gets a medal. The way that he executed through, shout out to Tyler Mason. I also spoke with him. He was very elated. He was just happy for the opportunity to be able to compete here. And both Tyler and Orlando, they both spoke about how having Jamaicans on the podium really just highlights how, like, I don't know, just a consistency in how the hurdles need to be recognized. It's really, of course, Jamaica is like the sprint nation and all that stuff. But like, think about what they've done in the hurdles, especially on the men's side, where 2016, you had, actually, let me circle back. 2012, you had Hansel Parchment. He got a bronze medal at the Olympic Games in, at the Olympic Games in London, right? 2012. Fast forward to 2015, Hansel Parchment gets a medal at the World Championships. Then you fast forward 2016, Omar McLeod gets a gold medal at the Olympic Games. 2017, Omar McLeod gets a gold medal at the World Championships. 2019, they missed. 2021, they get a gold medal at the Olympics. 2022, they missed. 2023, they get a medal with Hansel Parchment, silver medal. 2024, they get the Olympic bronze medal. And now they just put two guys on the podium. It's never happened before for Jamaica. So shout out to them. But I want to talk about Cordell Tinch a little bit more, the U.S. hurdles, and then also Grant Holloway real quick. Grant Holloway, unfortunately, did not qualify through into the final. He, unfortunately, like, he just hasn't looked like himself, unfortunately. I just saw he posted on Instagram, a little story saying that, just the season he just hasn't been himself this season, but he's going to take, some time off to make sure he can reset and refocus. I mean, Grant Holloway is, if you don't have him as a GOAT, you have to have him as number 2 or something like that. Grant Holloway, man, I did say that I would be surprised if Grant and Cordell weren't on the podium, but I mean, I don't know, man. Grant just did not look like himself, unfortunately. But, man, hopefully he's able to get back. And what's interesting is he did an interview with the BBC, and this was after the heats, and he was frustrated. And, he said it was an injury. And he did an interview with Lewis Johnson. I actually didn't check that interview out yet, and I didn't get to see it because I'm, like, in the stadium, so I don't see, like, the TV broadcasts, especially NBC, because I'm here in Japan. But I don't know, unfortunately, man. Shout out to Grant. But now with Cordell Tinch, the interesting thing is that he kind of maintains, this consistency of gold medals for the United States, where Grant Holloway won the gold medal in 2019. He won the gold medal in 2022, gold medal in 2023, gold medal 2024, and now Cordell Tinch gets the gold medal in 2025. And Cordell Tinch is looking like he might be, what I'm imagining is Grant Holloway gets back to being the best version of himself, right? Like, and we know that Grant Holloway can run 12.81 seconds. We know that, he's the second fastest all time. We know he's had the most sub 13-second performances, in a single season. Like, we know that he's done GOAT stuff. But I like Cordell's consistency, and it just, brings me to think that Cordell is not going to be letting up in any capacity. He's run 12.87, and if he is able to get more consistent in that range, 12.9 low, could we see him, him and Grant really, start to push each other? That'd be really, really interesting. And just thinking about that 12.87, Cordell Tinch told us that if he hadn't won the gold medal here, and if he didn't get a medal in any capacity, but if he didn't get the gold medal, that 12.87 would have meant nothing, right? It'd been like, oh yeah, you're a fast guy. Because, all due respect, but think of this. Devin Allen, he's run 12.84 seconds. but he's not heralded as like, he is heralded as, I guess, one of the American greats, but not as like one of the great hurdlers in a sense, because he doesn't have a medal at the World Championships or the Olympic Games, even though he's made the Olympics and World. So it's tough to say, but I'm really, really proud of Cordell Tinch and what he was able to do here. Like, amazing performance, Cordell. 110-meter hurdles. Shout out to the Jamaicans, Orlando and Tyler, for getting on the podium. First time 2 Jamaicans are on the podium in the 110-meter hurdles. Let me know what you think about those 110s. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Truly do appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.